Right now at 10, what's next for the FBI after President Trump fires the head of the department?
A federal investigation involving an app Uber is accused of using to avoid law enforcement could have ties to Austin.
And after a story goes viral about a romance scam, the man behind the photo says he's a victim too. The Nightbeat starts now. First thing tonight, it is what everyone is talking about, the firing of the FBI director and what that means to the investigation into the president's possible ties to Russia.
FBI Director James Comey was in the middle of that investigation before President Donald Trump fired him today. ABC's Lana Zach has the very latest.
James Comey boarded a plane in Los Angeles, deciding not to attend an FBI event after learning he had been fired as the head of the FBI, effective immediately. President Trump writing, "It is essential that we find new leadership for the FBI that restores public trust and confidence." The White House says that the president was influenced in part by the recommendation of his Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, who had recused himself from the Russia investigation. And that has Senate Democrats concerned about the future of the ongoing FBI investigation into Russian influence over the election. Comey was overseeing it, and some saying now that his firing demonstrates a pattern.
They fired Sally Yates. They fired Preet Bharara, and now they fired Director Comey.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said a special investigator must now be appointed, and if not,
every American will rightly suspect that the decision to fire Director Comey was part of a cover-up.
The controversial Comey had drawn ire from both Democrats and Republicans at various times. Just days before the presidential election, Comey was responsible for a bombshell announcement that he would be reopening the investigation into Clinton's emails. He later testified on the ramifications of that decision.
It makes me mildly nauseous to think that we might have had some impact on the election.
And it's not just Democrats that are concerned about the timing of Comey's firing. Many Republicans are calling it fishy. In fact, the Senate Intelligence Committee chairman, a Republican, said his dismissal further complicates an already difficult investigation. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
Comey is the third person involved in the Russia White House investigation who has been fired. Sally Yates was dismissed January 30th after she refused to defend the first draft of his travel ban. New York-based U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara was fired in March after he refused his request to resign, along with 45 other U.S. attorneys across the country. Bharara received regular intelligence briefings but was not making day-to-day decisions in the Russian White House investigation.
The American Civil Liberties Union has issued a travel alert for Texas tonight. This comes just 2 days after Governor Greg Abbott signed a bill to ban so-called sanctuary cities. The law cracks down on policies on jurisdictions that do not detain known criminals accused of violent crimes. The Nightbeat's Brandon Jones breaks it down.
This travel alert made by the American Civil Liberties Union wants to get your attention tonight. It's in response to the governor's signing to ban sanctuary cities right here in Texas. You know, the organization claims all travelers, including U.S. citizens, should be advised if they may encounter illegal arrest, racial profiling, and demand to show immigration documents. This flyer leaves a lot of questions for some.
Who's going to be stopped? Who's going to be questioned? And what are you going to base the questioning on?
In what instance would someone be asked about their immigration status during a routine traffic stop? We decided to take a look at the department policies of both the Austin Police Department and Travis County Sheriffs. Public Information Officer Kristen Dark with the Sheriff's Office says under their current policy, traffic stops by Sheriff's deputies do not ask for immigration status. SB 4 goes into effect September 1st. The ACLU feels the travel alert is not a scare tactic, but a way to warn people of their constitutional rights.
All eyes are on Texas now. The community, not just immigrant community, but, you know, nationwide, all Americans are concerned that Texas has passed the most racist law in the nation. So all eyes are on Texas now.
Now, as far as the Austin Police Department, we made calls to the department and to the Public Information Officer. So far, we have not heard back. They do have policies on their website, but they are not very clear. We'll let you know when we hear back. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Brandon. So here's the breakdown of the bill signed into law. Senate Bill 4 requires all Texas law enforcement to honor ICE detainers. It allows police to ask people about their immigration status during an arrest or a detainment, like a routine traffic stop. Critics say it amounts to racial profiling. Supporters say the law keeps people safe.
Uber is making waves once again in Austin, this time as part of a federal investigation. The Nightbeat's Tina Shively has been looking into this story. She has the latest now, all new at 10.
The Department of Justice has contacted Austin City Transportation and Aviation Department employees and told them they can expect subpoenas. Our sister publication, USA Today, reports the agency is looking into the company's Ghost app program known as Grayball. I reached out to Uber for confirmation, and they directed me to this blog post on their website about the technology issued back in March. It explains Grayball's intended usage, including testing new features by employees and to deter riders using the app in violation of the company's terms of service. The post also says it began, quote, prohibiting its use to target action by local regulators. The New York Times first reported on the technology back in March, claiming a code enforcement inspector in Portland, Oregon, tried to hail an Uber car in a sting operation against the company. Now, here's what that may have looked like on the inspector's phone. We've recreated it here. Some of the digital cars they saw in the app did not represent actual vehicles. Others quickly canceled. The paper says that was because Uber used Grayball to tag the inspector as a city official. It showed a fake version of the app populated with ghost cars to evade capture. The Department of Justice did not return my request for more information on the investigation. The city of Austin has not received any subpoenas. Tina Shively, KVUE News.
University Medical Center Brackenridge will soon be moving locations and getting a name change. The hospital will be moving across 15th Street later this month to a brand new facility and changing its name to Dell Seton Medical Center at the University of Texas. Brackenridge will be closed and only psychiatric services will remain. Seton says the move will ensure the safety of those in their care.
And that's a day that we have very well planned, executed very well down to the minute. So we'll be tracking the time a patient leaves their room, when they arrive to the first floor, when they're put in an ambulance, then when they arrive to our front door here, when they go into an elevator, and then when they arrive up on their floor and then into their room.
The new facility will house 211 beds and have 7 floors. This is what the patient rooms, helipad, and operating rooms will look like. According to Central Health, who owns the Brackenridge property, there are plans to redevelop the old facility into a mixed-use community. That would include office buildings, apartments, and shops.
We are in the Storm Center now with Albert Ramon. We had an active day today, some heavy rain, some lightning and things like that, and it's not quite over yet, I guess, huh?
Yeah, we'll have another repeat for some scattered showers and isolated storm tomorrow. I think the best chance for maybe a strong thunderstorm will come on Thursday, but a lot of this activity earlier today driven by daytime heating, so we're quiet on the max storm radar. Temperatures right now are ranging from 70 in Mason and Fredericksburg to 75 degrees in Bastrop. A lot of the action tonight has been in New Mexico and also in the western portions of the Panhandle of Texas. That's where a tornado watch is in effect until 11 p.m. A couple of tornadoes, about 7 in all, west of Lubbock into New Mexico. Here's the storm system that will keep those rain chances around tomorrow, and as it moves to the north of us, a strong thunderstorm will be possible as we head into Thursday. Behind this system, though, great looking weekend, just in time for Mother's Day. We'll talk about that coming up.
The House of Representatives has just 3 days left to vote on House bills, but most of today's agenda was spent on a bill-killing tactic called chubbing. That's where a lawmaker debates a bill for 10 minutes, knocking it off of the local and consent calendar, which means the representatives can't vote on it. More than 20 bills were knocked off today. The author of one bill killed today called out lawmakers for playing political games.
A popular English sport going pro in Austin.
And a woman says she was scammed in an online romance, but the man in the picture says he's a victim too.
Plus, a Texas mom isn't messing around when she stumbles into a masked intruder in her home.
Cloudy skies in the 70s right now. We stayed in the 70s for highs today thanks to a little bit of rain passing on by. Less than 1/10 of an inch, though, here in the city. 76 the high at Mapletree, cracked 80 at Bergstrom. Talk rain chances for the rest of the week coming up.
A former Tennessee teacher charged with kidnapping a student has been booked into a Kentucky jail. Tad Cummins was arrested last month after a nationwide manhunt for him and 15-year-old Elizabeth Thomas. The pair was finally found in a remote California cabin. The former teacher is charged with taking the girl across state lines for the purpose of criminal sexual intercourse. If convicted, he'll face at least 10 years.
You may remember the Snapchat video of a nursing assistant allegedly taunting a woman with a feather as she smeared feces on her face. Now that elderly woman's family is filing a $1 million lawsuit against the Austin nursing home. In that suit filed on May 5th, the son of the 83-year-old woman cites Windsor Nursing and Rehabilitation Services of Duval of allegedly failing to report the incident to law enforcement and the family. The lawsuit also accuses the nursing home of negligently hiring 23-year-old Carlos Santa Cruz. Back on April 5th, Santa Cruz was charged with misdemeanor injury to the elderly by contact.
We shared a story with you earlier at 6 about a woman who was scammed on a dating site for more than $100,000. Well, tonight, more women are saying that they've been scammed too by somebody using that same picture.
And the man in the picture shares his side of the story. Here's Maria Arzaveda.
I definitely was falling in love.
Emily Thompson was enamored with the soldier she met on Match.com in March. But it was over when she learned their love was a scam that cost her more than $130,000.
Totally devastated.
His name was Robert Parker.
Hello?
And Tuesday, we heard from 2 more North Texas women.
So what did you think when you saw the story?
I was shocked.
Who also texted with this man.
I had been sent the same pictures that she had been sent.
He is not real, as they discovered when he started asking for money. But the man in the photos is.
I can't believe I'm talking to you.
And he's a victim too.
I'm doing the best I can to live like a nice, average, normal, suburban life. So.
He is an Army reservist living in Illinois, whose name we're not sharing since his family sacrificed enough of its privacy in the last few years.
The pictures came from a deployment to Afghanistan in 2011 to 2012. Our battalion created a Facebook page to kind of keep friends and family up to date of what we're doing, where we're at.
He says someone saved them and keeps using them on several dating sites. He hears from scorned fake lovers every 2 to 3 months.
When a wife gets text messages or Facebook profiles from a random woman saying, hey, I saw this, I found this at Match.com, what's going on? Those are definitely the most rough.
He says he's contacted police and the dating sites, but for every profile taken down, there's another. So he's asking daters to ignore him if you see him.
They need to know that if you get contacted and it seems fishy, chances are it probably is.
It'll make for one less heart he'll have broken without even knowing.
That's kind of scary. Somebody can just take your picture and use
I
it
know.
for whatever
Every
they
few months you get a scorned woman contacting him. That's terrible for him. All right, well, let's turn to the weather. We talked about how it's been a pretty active day today. I saw some lightning hit a utility pole today. Big fire,
right.
Big sparks, everything like that.
Plenty of rain.
Quite the show. What do we have in store?
Yeah, good point. Quite the show with that thunder and lightning over parts of the area, but not amounting to a whole lot. Less than 1/10 of an inch of rainfall reported officially here in Austin. We had showers and storms develop at different layers of the atmosphere. So I'm going to show you a 12-hour radar loop, and what you're going to see are showers coming off the Gulf of Mexico at the surface. You'll see those coming in from the southeast, see those moving off towards the northwest, and then about 15 to 20,000 feet up, riding along southwesterly winds, you'll see these little thunderstorms. See them moving southwest to northeast, so kind of crisscrossing right over I-35. So again, surface-based moisture coming in from the Gulf, and it's because of this upper level low sitting in extreme southeastern areas of Arizona while we have that southwesterly wind above the surface. And here's the reason why we're going to keep at least a couple of showers and storms in the forecast for at least the next 2 days. Now tomorrow, the rain chance not big. It's 30% for some on and off showers, a rumble of thunder possible. And then as we head into your Thursday, that low is going to be passing to the north of us. So Red River northward, kind of the best chance of thunderstorms. A little arm of instability on Thursday afternoon and evening will offer some scattered showers and maybe a strong thunderstorm producing some hail, because after all, it is May, our severe weather season. Then as the system moves off to the east, by Friday morning, it'll drag a front through the region, and this front not bringing us cool air, but it's going to lower the humidity just in time for the weekend. So still pretty toasty for the weekend, but with less humidity, it's going to feel a lot more on the comfortable side. If you're hoping that we're going to get some good rain the next 2 days, we're not. Less than a ½ inch expected over the next 48 hours. Overcast, passing shower chance tonight at 20%. will only drop to the upper 60s to near 70. And not a washout tomorrow. 30% chance of a couple of showers around. Even a rumble of thunder possible, but nothing widespread. 83 degrees for the high temperature. And most spots will be in the low 80s for tomorrow. May stay in the 70s out west around Fredericksburg and Blanco, 82 in Georgetown, about 83 tomorrow afternoon in Bastrop. Well, molds thrive in this very humid, moist environment, so molds high. Pecan pollen is kind of towards the end of the season, so just low amounts of pecan pollen. Grass, though, with some extra moisture around on the increase. Elevated today in the medium count. We think it'll be medium again for tomorrow. We'll keep you updated every day in the Statesman. How about this shot? Courtesy of Joshua Helms. Joshua Helms taking this photo of the Pennybacker Bridge on a clear evening. There you see the towers, the little field of towers, KVUE's towers right there on that Westlake Hills hill there. Isn't that cool? Great shot. Love to see your photo. Step shot at KVUE.com. So, a couple of showers tomorrow. Maybe a rogue thunderstorm, high 83. And then as that system gets a little bit closer to us, the one that's sitting out in the desert southwest, slightly better opportunity for showers and storms. But not everyone's going to get wet. That's why we'll keep the rain chance at 40% Thursday. A strong storm possible. We'll keep an eye on that. And then behind the system, clearing skies, breezy, lower humidity. 86 Friday, 85 Saturday, 89 for Mom's Day, and then some low-end rain chances Monday and Tuesday of next week. These on and off rain chances are going to be with us for at least the next 3 weeks as we head into typically the stormiest weather pattern of the entire year. And then as we head into about the first or second week of June, we turn off the tap and we go into summer mode. So
That's
enjoy
right.
it while we have it. Wow. Yes.
We will.
Okay.
Thanks, Albert. Well, a North Texas mom is taking no prisoners after her home is broken into.
The message she has tonight for the masked culprit. An intruder creeps into a North Texas family's home, and a mom has a message for that masked culprit.
To the kid who broke into my home tonight, I am locked and loaded.
The shotgun shells added to it as well. Well, you can see the encounter was brief. The person creeps in right in front of the mother before running out. The family says they think they became a target because their sons had just gotten several pairs of limited edition shoes called Yeezys and posted pictures on social media.
By the time he walks into school Monday, most of the school knows he's gotten 5 pairs of shoes.
It was meant to be a lesson about investment. I guess those Yeezys are expensive, but now those shoes are out of their home.
Turning to some exciting sports news tonight, the Austin Huns will be one of 10 franchises across the country to take part in Major League Rugby. Several attempts to start a pro rugby league have failed in the past. Austin is one of 3 Texas teams competing, including the Houston Strikers and the DFW Major Rugby. The season kicks off next year.
And that will just be one more sport that you can
you'll have to cover.
Rugby.
That's right. Hey, we had some exciting basketball tonight.
Yeah.
Some people have said that these are the worst NBA playoffs of all time. With all the blowouts and all the sweeps, tonight we had a little overtime. It was a good time. History said Game 5 would belong to the Spurs, while the Rockets tried to turn the tide in San Antonio when KVUE returns.